All right, we're gonna try out the brand new Sephora Collection Best Skin Ever concealer today. This just came out yesterday. I'm filming this on the 13th. I believe this came out on the 12th. I went in store and got mine, and I'm so excited to try this. I have been a pretty big fan of the Best Skin Ever foundation since that one came out, and I'm so excited to try this. I typically like most Sephora collection products that I've tried. This concealer retails for $15, which is pretty good, and it comes in 50 shades, which is amazing. So hopefully just about everybody should be able to find a shade that works for them in this concealer, which is amazing. This also claims to be natural finish, which I love, and a full coverage, and they also market this as an all-over concealer. So today I'm going to use it on my face and under my eyes. So like I said, this comes in 50 shades, and I got the shade 17.5 neutral, which I believe what I saw about this concealer is the shades should match up with the Best Skin Ever foundation. So I got the same shade in this concealer that I wear in the foundation, which is 17.5 neutral. So that is it there. And I figured we'll do the face first, and then I will bring it under the eyes. I have no idea how much I need, so I'm just going to start with that. Pretty, not as thick as I was thinking it was going to be. It feels very, very lightweight. I'm going to use a Sephora number 56 brush that is clean and blend this in. So here is that first little bit blended out. First impression, definitely pretty full coverage. And usually I'm kind of hesitant with concealers that say they're full coverage. I feel like a lot of concealers claim to be full coverage and they're not. But this one is pretty full coverage, I have to say. One thing I did kind of notice when I was blending it out is I did let it sit on my face for, I would say, 15 to 30 seconds before I started blending it, and it had already kind of dried a little bit, it seemed like. So maybe don't wait a very long time before you blend this out, but I did just want to mention that because I did notice it. The color is pretty good for me, I will say. So far, so good. I will say it's on my skin, it looks a little more matte than I was thinking it's going to. It's definitely not like a super, super matte concealer, but it looks more matte than I was thinking. I don't know. I was thinking it was more matte, but now that I look at it, maybe it's not. It is more of a natural finish. Pretty impressed with the coverage though, with that first application. All right, we may go back and add a little bit more to my face in a minute, but let's move on to under the eyes because I feel like my under eyes are kind of distracting me. So I'm gonna do one eye with color corrector, which I always apply, as you probably know, and then I'll do one side without it just so you can see the difference. I'm gonna go ahead and use the EXA High Fidelity color corrector in Peach. And I think, let's see, I think we'll do color corrector on this side and just the concealer over here. So I'm gonna just put a little dot there. Then I'm just going to tap that in. So there is the corrector, and now we'll go in with the concealer. So I'm just gonna do just a little. I'm just gonna start out with that because I don't want to go in with too much. And let me grab a clean brush. So this is my favorite concealer brush ever, the Sigma F03. This one's nice and clean. So I'm just gonna go and tap this in. Initially, when I saw that they were advertising this as an all-over concealer, it really reminded me of the Too Faced Born This Way concealer. I gotta say, the consistency is definitely similar. I think Born This Way might be just a little bit thicker. Yeah, I would say Born This Way is a bit thicker. This one's a lot more lightweight feeling. Okay, so you see how much that spread under my eyes, so you really don't need a lot of product. So that is what it looks like with the corrector underneath. Looks really good right now. Obviously we just applied it, so I don't know how it's going to set down. That's what I'm kind of curious about, but so far so good. Now we'll go in with the concealer only on the other eye, just in case you want to see both. And then I'm going to use that same brush and tap it out. So there it is. This side has no corrector. This side does have corrector. I mean, honestly, the side without corrector doesn't look bad. I definitely think, depending on which way I'm looking, you can kind of tell, like if I look down right here, my darkness definitely peeks through more on this side than it does on this side, but it doesn't do a bad job on its own. So if you don't have severely dark under eyes, you might really like this on its own. But the finish of it is very nice under the eyes. So far, it's very pretty. Definitely agree, more of a natural finish. I want to see if it kind of sets itself down at all. I don't know if I'm going to powder under my eyes or if I'm just going to leave it alone. But under the eyes looks pretty good. I do want to see how buildable it is on the face, just out of curiosity. I don't really want a whole lot more coverage than I have, to be honest, but I'm just gonna add like just a little bit and we'll see if it builds up at all. I'm gonna use that same Sephora collection brush and just tap this in. Okay, yeah, I can already tell. Definitely a buildable formula. I don't know if you can tell on this cheek, you could still see a little bit of redness peeking through, but now you really can't, now that I added that little bit on top. So yeah, definitely I would say a buildable formula, which is good. And it's lightweight, it's pretty thin, so I don't think you're gonna have a huge issue with it looking like too much product. There it is. Yeah. It looks good. Looks pretty good, you guys. It definitely is buildable. I like how it looks so far. One more thing I did want to say, I am going to wear this all day long. I have just some stuff to do around the house and I need to run an errand a little bit later. I need to go to Target. So I'm going to wear this all day and I'll check in with you throughout the day as well. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my makeup and then I'll be back. All right, you guys, we're having some problems here. So I was just putting on the Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzer and I was looking in the mirror in here and this, like my whole face is pilling. Like not just where I put the bronzer, but it's pilling like in other places. And it's so hard to tell. I mean, I have to look up really close to see it, but it's like pilling all over. So I'm thinking it's my skincare. I wasn't thinking today and I got the Rhode skincare. I got the peptide glazing fluid and the moisturizer and I used both of those today for the first time. But I mean, it was hours ago. So I definitely let it set for a while before I put it on. I really don't want to go wash this off, but I feel like I have to find out what's going on. So I'm gonna go wash my face, reapply, and I'll be back. All right, so I'm back. I reapplied everything like you saw, and I don't see any pilling this time, you guys. So I'm guessing it was my skincare products. I know better than to try new skincare when I'm gonna film this video. I just was not thinking, I don't know. That's the bad part about trying new skincare. Sometimes products don't go well together, because now everything looks fine. So now I'm gonna go ahead and finish my makeup, and then I'll be back and show you what it's looking like. All right, so I did my makeup, and this is what it looks like. We are definitely headed in a much better direction for this video now. This looks fantastic. It really does. It looks smooth, no pilling. I did powder my face with my Bite powder, my Bite Changemaker powder. I did not powder under my eyes though, because I kind of want to see how this concealer does with no powder. I will say so far it has not creased or settled weird under my eyes, and we have no powder there. I am really excited about this. Just like with any product, you have to be kind of careful if you haven't used a skincare product before. When you try something new, sometimes things don't work with each other. But now we are good to go. I don't see any pilling or anything like that. My base looks really good. Really, really good. So I'm really excited about this. The coverage is amazing. I actually didn't even build it up this time when I applied it. In the first clips, I went in with a little bit more coverage in the cheek area. I did not do that this time, and still I got really great coverage. So very, very excited about this so far. I am gonna wear it all day long, like I said, and I'll come back for at least one check-in, maybe two, actually. Yeah, probably two. I will try to get a clip in my car a little bit later. I know you guys like it when I include a natural light clip in the video, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But so far, so good with this. So I will see you guys in a few hours. All right, you guys, I am so hot. It is so hot right now, but I'm in my car. The lighting out here is not great right now, so you don't know how much you're going to be able to tell. I can tell you it's rubbed off right here on my nose, but that's really not unusual. Pretty much everything does when it's this hot outside. It looks pretty good. I don't know how much you're going to be able to tell, but I did just kind of want to show you. When I go back inside, I'll do another check-in, so maybe you can see a little bit better. Maybe if I come over here, you can see a little bit better. I mean, it looks good, but I don't know. I feel like it does look just like a tiny bit heavy, but it's not bad. But I will see you in a few hours, and I'll show you again. But this is what it looks like in direct sunlight. All right, you guys, it's been a few hours since the last clip, and I wanted to kind of update you on what I'm thinking. Still looks really good. I have been to Target. It is hot, hot, hot. Well, it's not as bad as it is some places, I guess. Here, it's about 92 degrees today. Still very hot, though. And I mean, I've been outside. It still looks pretty good, you guys. It has kind of rubbed off on the sides of my nose where it typically does, because I always wear sunglasses, but not bad at all. I mean, I could probably powder a little bit, like in my T-zone here, but it hasn't really worn off anywhere. And also under my eyes with no powder, it still looks pretty decent, which I'm pretty excited about. Honestly, both sides, with and without corrector, still look pretty good. So far, pretty impressed with this. I am gonna keep this on for the rest of the day. I think we're gonna go out on a walk later, so my last check-in will be after that walk, so I'll be curious to see what it looks like. All right, you guys, it's the end of the day. I'm about to go wash my makeup off, but I wanted to close out the video, kind of give you my thoughts on this so far. Overall, I'm very impressed with how it has worn throughout the day. It's been on for about 8.5 hours. and it looks pretty good. I did powder about an hour ago. I applied just a little bit, like right in my T-zone. I've been outside today. We went on a walk. I was out earlier at Target and it's hot, so I do think this is going to be one of those things you would want to powder at least just a little bit. But overall, on my face, it really has not worn off much. I mean, maybe a little bit on the sides of my nose, which is pretty typical. I always wear sunglasses when I'm outside, so I almost always get the sunglasses mark, but that's true of pretty much any product. Other than that, on my face, it looks pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with the longevity on this. I do think under my eyes, like I said in the beginning, I did not apply any powder, and overall it looks okay. I do think it is starting on this outer corner, and I don't know if the camera is going to pick it up, but you can see it in person if you look up close. It is kind of starting to separate just a little bit, and it looks like it's settling slightly. Not bad, not substantial creasing or anything, but it looks worn under my eyes. But I honestly don't know if I had applied powder, maybe that would have helped, maybe it wouldn't, I don't know. But overall, it's pretty impressive. I think if you like a little more coverage, like a medium, pretty full medium coverage to fuller coverage, I think you would like this, especially if you are someone that likes to apply concealer on your face and just skip foundation altogether. I know, especially this time of year, a lot of people like to just kind of put sunscreen on and spot conceal with concealer. I think this would be a really good product for that because it does cover quite a bit. I do like the finish. I would agree that it's more of a natural finish. I do think it can be a bit glowy, so I would say if you have really oily skin, I would powder. I don't have oily skin, and I still powdered a few times throughout the day if it's really hot where you live, just FYI. But overall, I'm very impressed with this. I think for $15, pretty good deal. If you like this type of product, this type of coverage, I think you would like this. I will say I can see where if you applied a ton of this, I can see where it might start to look heavy because it doesn't look heavy on me now, but I did not apply a huge amount to my face. But I can see if you went crazy with this, it might start to get a little heavy because it is that fuller coverage. Overall, I really enjoyed it. So I hope you guys liked the video. Let me know if you're planning to try this out in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe and follow me over on Instagram at simply.blair and TikTok simply.blair1. I will see you next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.